What's up, people? We had one of the greatest chess preparation ever with 35 moves by Nepo playing by hand without thinking. He had 1 hour and 40 minutes in the clock and he started with 1 hour and 30 minutes, so he's gaining time in all his moves. And let's see if Niemann can hold all the Nepo prep. Okay, e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6. Nepo likes the Spanish. Nowadays in the league, not many people are playing Spanish. Some of them are going for the Italian opening, but Nepo likes the Spanish. I remember a good game of him in the candidates that he won against Vidit in the Berlin defense. a6, bishop a4, knight f6 or castle, bishop e7, rook e1, and Niemann goes for the Marshall, the most solid. The most solid with the Berlin defense. They are the two most solid defense against the Spanish. a4 by Nepo, the anti-Marshall, my favorite weapon against the Marshall, just without forcing so much the game. b4 by Niemann, d4, d6, pawn takes. Now, okay, d takes is the other opportunity, but okay, knight takes, pawn takes, trading pieces. And here we have many moves. Queen e2, queen f3, knight d2. But Nepo made the move who have the worst score for white. Queen takes d8. That's the only move who is bad score for white in this position. But Nepo have all of this well prepared. Okay, here we are only in the move 12, and of course Nepo knows this position, but they are so common. There are many games. Rook d8, knight d2. Here Niemann played the only critical move, which is bishop c5. Bishop king f8 is another option, but just knight f3 and bishop g5. And this is pleasant for white because this is a bad bishop here. So bishop c5 is the only critical move of the position. And Nepo, of course, have all of this very well prepared because, like I said, he prepared everything till the move 35. Incredible. Knight f3, knight g4, bishop e3, bishop takes, pawn takes, and now rook d6. Of course, Nepo knows everything from he make a huge prep, but Niemann till here he's playing perfect, and the position is completely equal because Niemann is defending very good. The idea of rook d6 is that, okay, white is going to gain with rook d1 one day, so if white captures the d rook, now the pawn comes to the center defending e5, that's the idea, and defending bishop e6 too. So bishop d5 by white. Here we have many moves, maintaining the equal, but Nepo made the one who creates more problem for black and who complicates more the position, creating a very sharp game. Because if you make another normal move like king f1 or rook d1, the game is still being equal, but black can equalize with some moves. But with bishop d5, you are obligating black all the time to make all the best moves. c6, bishop b3. The idea is that the rook now is not defended on d6. That's the idea of bishop d5, bishop b3, bishop e6, and rook a1. By Nepo. Nepo still being in prep, and Niemann making all the correct moves. Rook d8, now he trade the rooks, and he trade on e6. After, the problem of take with the rook is that here the white rook can be so active. That's the problem of capture there with the rook. So black damaged his pawn extractor just to still keeping the d-file. King f1. Knight f6, great move by Niemann. The knight is misplaced on g4. He tries to attack the a4 pawn, and Niemann is still playing perfect and maintaining the 0.00 against Nepo, who is playing with not the machine, but yes, he's playing all the machine moves. King e2 by Nepo, knight d4, rook d1, and again a great move by Niemann. Instead of trade the rook on d1, he try to trade rooks on the d5 square, because if white capture, now black can improve his pawn extractor. Nepo goes for the trade. Nepo is still in prep. Pawn takes knight d5, knight d5, c5 by Niemann, defending the pawn. And now king f3. The machine is still saying 0-0, and the machine says that Niemann is playing a perfect game. But white is putting some pressure here, because all the time the black moves are very, very difficult to find, and the white moves are easier. King f8, and Nepo is going to go for the a pawn now. She's going to take the a pawn, and Niemann accept that, but he have a plan of try to capture the knight on a6, because the knight after take on a6 is going to be trapped. So that's what Niemann have on mind, but this is not the best plan for black. Okay, for the moment, king f8 and king 8 is very good, activating the king. king d8. But here is very strange that after white take the pawn, instead of try to capture the knight, and now the knight is trapped with king c8 followed by king b7, the best move of the machine, which is very hard to mate, is king d7, king f6, sorry, king f4, and now king c6, king e5, and knight f6. But this is very hard to play. Niemann played the most logical move, king c8, and this was his first mistake in the move 30. Till the move 30, Nepo is playing all the moves by heart. He knows everything from the prep, and Niemann is responding perfect too. But in the move 30, he made his fair inaccurate move. Okay, it's not losing, but now the black task is close to being impossible. With king d7, he could hold the game, but king c8, okay, the machine is still holding the position, but for black is 99% impossible to defend that. King f4, Nepo doesn't care about the knight because he has a very active king, and he's going to take 3 or 4 pawns for the knight. King b7, king e5. Okay, Nepo loses the pawn, but now after king d5, now white have 2 pawns. The knight is under attack, the c4 pawn is falling, later the b4 pawn is falling, and white have many passed pawns. And the black king is very bad placed on a6. So Niemann moved the knight, king c5, and here comes the decisive mistake according to the machine by Hans Niemann. But it was fucking impossible to hold this position. He played knight g4, who looks logical, just attacking 2 pawns. But the machine plays g5. For example, if king b4 has knight d5 and knight d3, and keeping the knight on f6, we can push the a pawn. So for that reason, king d4 looks logic. Trying to play e4. Now king a5, that's a very hard move, forcing b3, and now returning to b6. That's of course very hard to mate. King b6 doesn't work because just e4, and the pawn on b2 is better for white because you are not having this square. Very hard to play for black everything. b3, king b6, e4. All the black moves are only moves to try to hold the game, and white can make every move. g3, knight g4, great move, forcing this pawn to move, and now returning to f6 again. A very hard play by black. e5, knight d7, black task is just impossible. a4, king b5, king takes, knight f8. All the black's moves are only moves to hold. King e7, knight f6, and now we return with the king, and the machine say that this is equal. But black should find us 12 move unique moves, so impossible for black to defend this position. He played knight g4, who looks completely normal, and here Nepo wins. Nepo play e4 with 1 hour and 39 minutes in the clock. Incredible, a prep of, we are in the move 35. This was just the last move of the prep, e4, and he knows that he's winning here, so incredible preparation of Nepo. Once I made a great winning prep of 29 moves, and my opponent resigned in the move 31, so was a good prep with black, winning the game with black, with all the game by hand, and against a FIDE master. And I made another draw 30 moves preps, one against a grandmaster with black. But okay, it's not the same to make a 30 moves prep to make a draw that to make to win. But okay, that prep to make the draw was not bad. Knight a2, king b4, and now white is winning because he have 4 passed pawns. Against 4 passed pawns you can play. It's impossible to with a knight defend 4 passed pawns. And these 2 black pawns are so far from the promotion. King c5, just activating the king, coming to the queen. Sorry, with the king to defend these 2 pawns, defending everything, and the rest was so easy for Nepo, who, okay, he take this pawn, and simply Niemann resign because these 3 pawns are unstoppable, and the black king should take care about the g6 pawn. So incredible win by Nepo with 35 moves prep, ending the game with 1 hour and 20 minutes in the clock. And yeah, by Niemann, okay, he can make more. It's impossible to face a great prep of 35 moves. Niemann played perfect till the move 30. So we can criticize Niemann, who plays very good game against the machine. So yeah, Nepo He's just half point behind the leaders, going for the last round. So let's see if he can chase Aminov and Bokidov. Bye bye.